Welcome you all, the A-level students, to this other session. So people have been asking me very many questions about what? Nutrition. So I've decided today at least to do for you a video about talking about what? Nutrition. So what you do as usual, get a pen, get a book, sit, relax, and we begin. So in simple terms, the nutrition means how organisms, or nutrition is a way, how or is the process how organisms obtain their nutrients. In simple terms, it means a way or a process how organisms obtain their what? Their nutrients, which they use to sustain what? Growth and reproduction. In simple terms, that is the meaning of the word what? Nutrition. So when we talk about organisms here, we look at both animals and what? And plants. So nutrition is very big, and nutrition is divided into two. So one is the autotrophic nutrition, the one we are going to begin with, and the heterotrophic nutrition. So when you talk about autotrophic nutrition, what you should put in mind is that autotrophic nutrition mainly deals with the plants and some small bacteria are the ones which carry out what? Autotrophic nutrition, as you are going to see. Then when we talk about autotrophic, the word auto means self and trophic means what? Feeding. So when we combine auto and trophic, we get the word self-feeding, organisms which can feed themselves. So from there we can go ahead and say organisms take in inorganic carbon, an example, carbon dioxide, and energy. But remember, this energy which is taken in by these organisms is in the form of sunlight to form complex organic compounds. In simple terms, it means this organism uses what? Light majorly to form what we call a complex organic what? Organic compounds. Go ahead and look at the types of autotrophs. So we say that autotrophs simply means what? Organisms. The word autotrophs, in simple terms, it means organisms. Now, autotrophs, these organisms are divided also into two. We have those organisms which use light energy to synthesize their organic what? Compound. And these organisms are called phototrophs. We say that phototrophs, these are organisms which uses light energy to synthesize their organic what? Organic compound. So examples of phototrophs, we have all green plants, we have the algae, the cyanobacteria, the blue-green bacteria, the green sulfur bacteria, the purple sulfur bacteria, and the colorless sulfur bacteria. All of those organisms use or trap sunlight energy and synthesize their organic what? Organic compounds. Then another autotrophs, the one we are going to look at is chemotrophs. The word chemotrophs comes from those organisms which uses what? Chemicals. The word chemo means chemicals. Then it trophs, those are organisms automatically. So these are organisms which synthesize organic compounds using energy extracted from oxidation of inorganic chemicals by the process called the chemosynthesis. And the examples here are very many, but let us look at Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter. These two are some of the examples of chemotrophs. Then the table below, let's look at what we call chemosynthesis, because we say that chemotrophs manufacture their organic compounds or synthesize their organic compounds using what we call chemicals through the process called the chemosynthesis. Then from there, we can go ahead and say that the chemosynthesis, so chemosynthesis means the chemical process in which organic chemicals are oxidized to provide energy to living organisms for the synthesis of organic what? Organic compound. So please students, the table below, the table you are seeing there, it summarizes the first row, the first column we are having the chemosynthetic bacteria. The second column, it is having the substrate where these bacteria work. Then the third one is the main product, and the last part is the what? The habitat. So as you can see there, that the first chemosynthetic bacteria is the nitrosomonas and the nitrococcus. So these ones work on the substrate which contains what? Ammonia. And they convert this ammonia to the main product, which is the nitrite, and these ones are found in the what? In the soil. So from there, we have also what we call the nitrobacter. So the nitrobacter, these ones, they work on the nitrite, and they convert this nitrite into its main product, which is nitrate, and it makes this okay, and the habitat is the what? The soil. Then the third one is the thiobacillus. This one works on sulfur or hydrogen sulfide, the way you can see there in that bracket. Then from there, it converts this sulfur to sulfate, and finally, okay, all the habitat, it is in the in decaying organic matter. Then from there, Roman number 4, we have what we call the ferrobacillus, stock of the iron what? Iron bacteria. When we talk about iron bacteria or the ferrobacillus, so this bacteria works on ferrous. When we talk about ferrous is iron 2, and ferric means iron what? Iron 3. So this ferrobacillus or the iron bacteria works on iron 2 or the ferrous, that's iron 2, and converts it to iron 3, which is ferric, and it is found in streams flowing over iron rocks. Then the last one is the hydrogenomonas. That bacteria works on hydrogen and converts it to water in the what? In the soil. Then from there, the question you will ask yourself, but is this process important? Is the chemosynthesis important really? So let us look at it below there, chemosynthesis. So the importance of chemosynthesis, we are saying that the chemical activities of the organisms involved bring about nutrient cycling. So their activity of those small bacteria, they recycle the nutrients into the what? Into the soil. In other words, they make these nutrients available for the what? For the plants. So for example, we are saying the nitrosomonas and the nitrobacter or the nitrobacter bacteria are involved in nitrification in what? In plants. I hope you know this process of nitrification. Then from there, we have what we call the thiobacillus. This one catalyzes the conversion of sulfur containing compounds to sulfate, which are directly useful to what? To plants. Those are some of the importances of chemosynthesis. So from there, we can go below and look at what we call the mechanism of chemosynthesis in some bacteria. So the mechanisms are written there in some what? In some bacteria. How do these things convert? How do they work? So they have given you the one for ammonia. We say that ammonia is worked upon by the what? By the nitrosomonas, and it converts it to what? To nitrite, as you can see there. They have given you also the one for nitrobacter and the one for thiobacillus. So those are some of the mechanisms of chemosynthesis in what? In some bacteria. So they are saying below there that the chemosynthetic bacteria utilize the energy from the chemical oxidation of inorganic chemicals to synthesize organic compounds, those some of which are subsequently oxidized in respiration to yield the energy for what? For metabolism. So I call upon you, so to have ended there, and I call upon you to subscribe, follow, and like. By the way, you can comment or you can put your question there in that box. I will find it there and I will be answering it. So it is me, the science maestro, and I sign out. So we meet in the next what? In the next video. So I'm going to be dropping these videos almost every day. So this is part one of what? Autotrophic nutrition. Wait for part 2. Therefore, I sign out. May God bless you.